Welcome to Subramani. I'm in one of my vacations to the forest, and I travel with a guy called Kapil Sharma. I think he calls himself Kapil Sharma photographer or Kapil Sharma photography. That is his Insta handle. No, this is not a plug for him. But when I am in a location like this, I have to shoot from memory rather than from being able to find out what to do based on my laptop, etc. So I'm not carrying. I'm carrying my laptop, but I'm not using it because the connectivity is not too great. So I thought I will do a video on the financial mistakes that couples make. There are many, but I've enumerated 5 or 6, maybe there are 7. So let me start by saying first is only one does all the finances. When one person knows everything, how the bills are paid, how the gas bill, electricity bill, telephone bill is being paid, how the money is invested, how the money is withdrawn, right? Everything only one person knows. Now, this happens mostly as a matter of convenience, saying, oh, my husband does everything, so I don't do anything. It's not that the women don't know how to do it, but they don't do it. But when you don't do it for a very long period of time, you tend to lose the skills of doing it. Now, at some stage, a woman will be alone or a man will be alone, because there are places I know where the woman does everything and the man knows nothing. So both these cases happen. One spouse does everything. Now this is not good, because that person who does has all the passwords, etc. That person also may not remember how to do it, because if you have put your credit card bill, gas bill, telephone bill, electricity bill, even society charges all on auto payment, you don't even know how to do after some time, because it's all happening auto. If that person is not there, in the sense if that person is dead or is in the hospital, the other person has to be able to do it, right? So of course there's no OTP to be sent or anything. These are standing instructions. But still, if you are not using standing instructions and if you are making the payment, my suggestion is 1 month the husband should do all the payments, 1 month the wife should do. Obviously these are all joint accounts, it's going from the same account. So when the bill comes, you go online, for your society bill may fluctuate, so you may go there, put in the instructions that please make this payment on the 15th of May because the due date is 18th, right? Doing it is very important, even for expenses and for investing. So one person doing everything sounds good, sounds convenient, and there are women who say, that's the only thing which my husband does, at least let him do. If I learn it, then he will not do that also, he will delegate that to me. It's right and wrong, because then you ask your husband to cut vegetables or buy vegetables, some of those things, and learn this. Because the men who don't know cooking, don't even know how to make tea and things like that, they are also going to suffer, because at some stage when you are alone, you can't be totally dependent on somebody else. Maybe a servant who comes in at 8 a.m. to make breakfast for you, but if you want tea at 7 a.m. you can't get it, right? So men have to learn cooking and women have to learn finance, and this is normally true in 80%, 90% of the cases. In the other cases where the men know and the women also know, it's a joint effort. So don't do everything yourself. Sit and talk to your spouse. Maybe you do trading on your own, but investing, maybe you do it together, so that your wife and you, both of you, know why is this investment made. Oh, this is for your daughter's wedding, this is for your daughter's education, this is for your grandchild's education, whatever it be. Know about it, talk about it, that is better. Second, you don't have a budget. Maybe you're beyond budgets. Maybe you have 10x the amount of money that you need for retirement. But when you have a budget, you can sit and think what happened, what went wrong. That can be a good activity. It's better than maybe watching Netflix. At least talking about money, it gives you an excuse to talk about money at a very cool level, rather than saying, oh God, you spent so much on this perfume, why do you need a perfume for 20,000 rupees to why do you need to take a vacation every 3 months. Could be anything, could be just an irritant. But sitting and making a budget makes a lot of sense, because both of you know where you're spending, what you're spending. I am definitely spending more on vacations than on my household expenses. Well, that sounds very high, but if you take too many vacations, if you take, then maybe you're eating out also and all that. So all my entertainment budget is definitely more than my household expenses. So I mean, when I'm putting travel, entertainment, everything together, definitely I'm spending more on that. So knowing where you're spending, what you're spending, both of you, it is nice to know. That brings me to another thing, saying there can be one account where your wife has a separate account and you have a separate account. If you're watching with if you're a woman who is watching, your husband has a separate account, or you have a spouse who does not even look at what you're doing, because some expenses which you may want to incur, you may want to give a bigger gift to your niece's wedding. It may not matter to your husband, it may matter to your husband, but if you think he's a person who is going to interfere, then maybe you want a separate account, because that will also help you. Because I see people fighting over 800 rupee t-shirts and 2000 rupee shoes. Don't do it, it is not worth it. You've reached a stage in life when you can afford it. Then you don't ask, why did you go by this mode of transport, why did you not take that mode of transport, and things like that. Don't do that, because it is an irritant and it doesn't help. But some people say it's not about money, it's about principle. Don't talk all that nonsense, it doesn't really help. So doing all, then how you will help your children? Will you, when your kid asks for X amount of money, will you think twice? Will you ask questions? Will you ask, will you repay? Is it interest bearing? Will you consult your other kids? Let's say you got 3 kids, then one kid wants money and it's a substantially big amount of money. Will you say, okay, I will alter my will that I'm going to give you this much back. I don't want it back, but this is like taking your share in advance. That's it. I'm not going to give the money equally. Like, let's say you're going to give away 90 lakhs. So it is 30 lakhs for each kid, and one kid wants a 10 lakh loan or a gift or whatever you want to call it for buying a house. Then the question is, the other 2 kids should know that you have given the loan, do proper documentation. This I'm saying, as a couple, you have to decide in advance, do you want to give it away when you're alive, and you think this 90 may not be sufficient for your retirement. Then you say, boss, I just can't give it to you. I need this money. After my death, I can give you, because I don't know how long I'm going to live. I'm only now 78 years of age. What if I live till 94 and I may exhaust my money? So I may not have money, and then I may have to ask for it back. So you ask for 10 lakhs, I can't give you 10 lakhs, maybe I can give you 5, and we will document it properly, because the other kids should know that I've given it to you, and this is going to be reduced from your will. That reminds me, another problem is not making a will. Absolutely stupid reason. One person I know who died recently, I know him, and the family should have approached me, I would have helped them. Is that guy refused to make a will. It is not that he didn't know. He said, oh, I'm giving you a house worth couple of crores. You at least can go around and do some legal work. This is absolutely wrong and absolutely stupid. Don't do this. If you have to give money to your kids, make sure that you put it in your will. You want to give it to charity, make sure you want to put it in your will. Your wife will suffer if you have not made a will. Your husband will suffer if you have not made a will. If you are joint property owners, your half has to be willed to the other person. So if you are the husband who is watching, you have to make a will and saying, my half will go to my wife, or my half will go to my children after my wife's death. Please put it down in writing. Too many people I see struggling, and then they say, oh, what a country, so many cases are pending. Cases are pending because you and I don't make a will. Don't make that mistake. I have made my will. I made many videos saying why I have made a will, how to make a will. All this I have said. So go and make your will. And yeah, there is nothing called an online will, because even if you make an online will, you have to still go and register it. So, right. So don't do that. So if you are a person who will interfere in other person's expenses, don't have all accounts as joint, right? So you can avoid that, so that you don't have to fight. You make a proper financial plan, have a proper budget, and that's it. So make your will. Also, many people don't talk about money. Talk about money. Even maybe your monthly income is 2.5 lakhs and you're spending 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees. that's fine. You still have a surplus, but still it's better that your wife knows how much you're earning, what you're doing. In case your wife is not willing to learn, or you're not willing to sit and communicate properly for whatever reasons, make sure that your kid knows it. One kid at least knows it, or both your kids know it. Talk to kids about money. I keep saying personal financial planning is more about personal financial communication within the family. Husband, wife, maybe a sibling, people should know where your money is, what it is. You say, okay, all my money is in mutual funds, plus I have an office which I'm going to sell off, or a house which I'm going to sell off, and simplify it. I have only one house, so I have given one house on rent, and this is given to so and so, blah blah blah. Here is the rent agreement, we have registered it, whatever, all that. Please talk about it, please write about it, maybe you even record about it, right? You can make a video about what you have and all that. So please do all that, so that after one person departs, the other person is not left saying, oh God, I don't even know how to pay the electricity bill, the telephone bill, and things like that. Maybe your kids also don't know. So involve your kids. If they are above 15 years of age, make sure that they know how to pay. Maybe you don't give them your credit card password, or just share it. Doesn't really matter, because in case of an emergency and you are admitted in the hospital and your wife has to use your credit card, or your kid has to use your credit card, or both husband and wife are in an accident and your child has to use your credit card, or your medical access, medical insurance, they should know how to do it. It's your job to teach. There is no office, there is no school, there is no college which is going to teach. So husband, wife, grown-up kid should all know what you're doing. And like I said, I had to do all this from memory. Maybe there are hundreds of more mistakes, but these 6, 7, whatever, I've not enumerated them, nor is the order right. Maybe making a will should be the first one, whatever it is. So please subscribe, please hit the bell icon. I hope you're enjoying what you're watching, and hey, go and take a vacation. Thank you.